So if you're watching this video, you're probably wondering about some of the things that you need to think about before taking a coding bootcamp. So I've been a coding bootcamp mentor or instructor kind of for about 2 years now. I've been in the coding industry for about 10. I've had a lot of students go through, and I wanted to share with you a checklist of things that you should consider before taking a coding bootcamp. So a coding bootcamp, they're very popular. They're a good way of kind of getting into the industry. You don't necessarily have to take a coding bootcamp, but it's kind of a tried and proven way of people going from not knowing any coding to getting their first job in kind of around a year's time, depending on the amount of time you put in and kind of the curriculum of the bootcamp. So the first thing you probably have to consider, or the first thing on the checklist, is the time that a bootcamp takes. So a lot of people, especially ones that are working full-time, don't really grasp what 20 hours of extra a week of like focused work is. And I know it's like very easy to think like, oh, I can do that, I can do this. But when you're learning something new, or if you're new to the industry of programming, it's not rocket science or anything like that. Anybody can learn it, but it does take focused time. So a lot of times if you're working, for example, 9 to 5, after work, it's going to be very mentally draining to come and do a lot of coding. But that's why kind of coding boot camps are usually split into two parts, the theory and the application. So in the theory part, I always recommend to students to do them after they kind of come from work, try to watch some videos, maybe in the morning, depending on when they have time to kind of absorb as much as they can, and leave the practical or assignments that take a lot of your mental energy to do during your days off, one day off, or whatever you can, just 5 to 10 hours so you can get those assignments done and really learn from them. So really understand the time commitment and know that it does take a lot of time, and it's very, it could be very mentally exhausting to learn coding, but all you need is to dedicate that time. The second thing I want to talk to you about is kind of the costs of boot camps. Now, they cost a lot of money. There's no question about it. I mean, it's nothing compared to a college degree, like something I did, but it is a significant cost. Some of them ask you for the money up front. Some of them charge monthly. Some of them ask you for money after you graduated. There's job guarantees. They take some money maybe after you start working, but be very careful about these and really understand the conditions, right? So job guarantees, what kind of job guarantee is there? They have time limits, and they also, have, very particular writing. So understand what a job guarantee is. If you have to pay money after you've gotten a job in the industry, well, what is the industry? Does it have to be an actual programmer, or sometimes maybe something working in tech could be very different? So they'll want their money either way. So be very careful about job guarantees and when you pay the money and how much things cost. So definitely do the research and just understand what you're signing up for, and keep that in mind. And it's a very important part. So the other one is probably talking to graduates. So if you want to go to a particular boot camp, you've done the research, that you understand the cost and the time now, talk to people who've actually graduated from these boot camps. Find them on LinkedIn. I think is a good way. A lot of people say they've graduated from certain boot camps. Some of them even put it on Twitter. Message them, set up a time, maybe even call them, and just ask them about what it was like to take this boot camp. Would they do it again if they were in your position? That's a very important question, right? What are some things to keep in mind? What did they learn? It's nothing like learning from the people who actually took it, right? So keep that in mind, and definitely recommend you do that before kind of saying, I'm going to do it and pull the trigger, right? The last thing is kind of finding a job. Now, the bootcamp in itself is very hard, but finding a job is also very hard. Don't think that they're going to actually find a job for you or place you. Now, they're going to help you and give you a lot of resources, but a lot of that work you have to do on your own. And I've seen a lot of students struggle with getting that job after they finish the bootcamp. It actually is kind of like a really important part, but it's really hard to kind of get out there and compete to get one of those entry-level positions. So just keep in mind and manage that expectation that ultimately you're responsible for finding a job. They are going to help you as much as they can, but keep in mind that it's not just going to be given to you. So just be aware of that before you get in, and just know that even though there's job guarantees, it doesn't mean you're going to get a job, right? I help a lot of students usually who've left boot camps kind of find their way and kind of talk about different strategies to get them there. But I feel like a lot of boot camps could be lacking in that department. So just make sure that you understand that that's expected of you. So that's it for that. Let me know if you have any questions, and good luck starting your boot camp. Thank you.